Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, it is a chilly 51 degrees this morning. As you can see, Uber's following me in the trailer. We got it loaded back up. Got the hay and stuff moved last night. And we're heading back to the property there in town. And the scrappers should already be out there getting it in. They said they'd be there in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock right now, and I'm heading out there. I had some stuff to get together this morning before I come out. I'm gonna go get my toaster this morning before I head out there, and then I wanted to get Uber back out there just in case we needed to move some stuff. Gumby with Junk to Gems is going to be using his backhoe here and there, moving some of the bigger stuff for him. But we got a lot going on today, to say the least. So pretty excited about it. And then plus Talon with DD5 down there. Text Mike when I was on the phone with him this morning and said he has finished with all of his exams and wanted to know if Mike could pick him up at like 11:30 or something like that. And Mike is unable to today, and so I told him to tell him that his uncle would pick him up, but he's gonna have to stay at the property with me until I go home. If he wanted me to pick him up, I'd go ahead and pick him up, and he does. So I'm gonna pick him up around lunchtime, probably take him to lunch, have a little uncle-nephew time, and then we're gonna go back out at the property and keep getting it. And so I'm looking forward to that. I don't think Talon's been to the new property yet, so it'd be cool for him to see it and all of that. He's getting older, you know, he's 15, about to be 16, growing up. So I want to show him the shop and all of that other stuff, because he'll be driving here soon and all of that. Need to teach him how to work on his vehicles and all of that stuff. So show him where all that will take place there in the new shop and everything. It's a beautiful morning though. We got a ton of rain last night. It pretty much rained from about 8 o'clock last night until about 5 o'clock this morning, and dumped tons of water. And the creek is officially flowing again. It's pretty high. It's not dangerously high, but it's high. It's not too high. Mike was still able to drive his car through it this morning, so that told me it wasn't too bad. And I just took the truck and Uber through it with no problem. But it is definitely flowing. I'm wondering if it's going to continue to flow now, or if it's going to dry back up again and all of that. I thought the last time it started flowing that it was going to be flowing until the summer, but it ended up drying up again. But it's only a matter of time before that right there stops, and it just is a consistent flow for the next 6 months. So, man, it's gorgeous this morning. It's not as foggy as it has been. There's a little fog behind us, but the last couple of days have just been gloomy and foggy. Also, I didn't talk about it yesterday, but Monday I put out the second Mexico trip, and I did a premiere on Homesteading, and the video is not doing well.
Video protected.
It is actually probably the lowest viewed video that I have put out in 2 years, which is disappointing to me, because it's a really good video. Really good video. Everybody that watched it loved it, but for some reason it didn't get pushed out on the interwebs with over YouTube. Didn't feel like they needed to push it out to people, so it did not do well. I mean, it did bad, like by far the worst video performance wise in at least 2 years. So that was disappointing, because it took a lot of lot of work to film all of that, and also to edit all of that. And it's like an hour long, hour and 17 minutes or something. It's a big video, and really good, really interesting stuff in that video. So if you have not went over to Come On Homesteading and watched it yet, I would greatly appreciate it if you do, because it's on life support right now. It's bad. it's real bad. So I was shocked at how bad it did. Normally my videos don't do that bad, but that one, horrible, 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 horrible. It's unfortunate, but you never know. You know, I put the videos out there, and you never know how they're gonna do. Unfortunately, it seems like videos with a lot of drama seems to do better than me going and having a good time. If I go on vacation or anything like the fishing trips or traveling or anything like that, those videos do so much worse than my normal videos, which is unfortunate, because I can't work myself to death all the time. I got to have a life as well, and I try to bring everybody along and make good videos and show y'all different places, or, you know, and places that you might not have been and stuff like that, and stuff that you might not have ever seen before. And they just don't seem to do good, unfortunately. But it is what it is. They all can't be bangers, I guess. But I was shocked at how bad this one did. It was it's unfortunate. Unfortunate. I was a little bit disheartened on how bad that one performed. Most of the time I just roll with it, and it is what it is. But this one right here was just particularly very bad. Like, it did horrible. So it is what it is. But I'm back to working now, so I'm sure the videos will rebound and start coming up a little bit. They need to, because if they stay that low, I won't be able to afford to do this, and I'm gonna have to go back to work. And might not be doing YouTube no more. So I don't think we're there yet off, you know, one video performing that way. But the numbers have been pretty low right now, but it is the holiday season. But that one in particular, like I said, horrible. So if you ain't watched it, please do me a favor and go and watch it, and tell me what you think about it in the comments, and interact on that one as well, and see if we can't get it to come back. But Christmas is a week away, guys. We are 1 week away from Christmas. I cannot believe how fast this year went by. This year seemed like it just flew by. I can't believe that we're already about to be at 2025. And we are approaching 3 years of me being here. Yeah, I believe it's 3 years. Come March will be 3 years here in Arkansas, and it seems like I've only been here a year. Time definitely flies. But it's been a great experience thus far. Is it thus far? And got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in 2025 with the new property, and also on the mountain. We got some big fencing projects planned, some more renovation stuff planned. Hopefully get some more animals on the mountain, but I got to get the infrastructure right and the fencing and all of that first. I think I've decided that area that I cleared out with the dozer, I think I'm going to fence that area first. That'll be a nice big area for the goats and the clips and everybody. And then that's a good place to kind of branch the fences off everywhere else, because if I do that one first, then I can use one side of it will be part of the yard as well. And then I only got 3 sides to do to fence in the actual yard space. So definitely behind the scenes starting to plan for that. A lot of those cedar trees that were taken down by the dozer is going to be a portion of that as well. The yard side, I'm going to use cedar post because I want the look, and then the rest of it I will use some cedar post, but also T-post because it'll just be for corralling animals. So the good thing about having all those cedar trees out there, that's going to save me some jangle, because fencing is very expensive. I seen on the news they're about to drop interest rates again for the third time, which is a good thing. Hopefully it'll be a chain reaction and prices of things will start going down, because I think they said everything right now, like across the board, vehicles, materials, food, everything is up like 24% right now on average across all of them. And pay has not went up 24%. So it's a lot of people out there struggling right now, and I'm one of them. It definitely affects how much I can actually get done, because building materials cost so much right now, and fuel and all of that other stuff. It costs money to do all of this stuff. It's not free, and I wished I had a lot of money where I could just, just go buy all the materials I need and just work and knock everything out, but I don't, and I'm trying to do this out of pocket, and it takes time, and I do as much as I can, but like right now, finances are a little low. We've had a very expensive year. We've accomplished a lot this year, but it also cost a lot this year, especially with buying 2 properties this year. I bought the 10 acres in February behind the cabin, and then bought this other 5 acres like 2 months ago. So have gained some assets and stuff, which is a good thing, and definitely got some land now to be able to kind of spread out and kind of do a whole lot of things and stuff, but it takes its toll on the pocketbook, if you know what I mean. So right now I'm in like recovery mode, where I'm trying not to spend a fortune on projects, just trying to kind of get my reserves kind of replenished, and but that'll happen here real soon. I just got to keep on grinding, keep on working, keep on being smart with the jangle, and then we're going to start some more bigger projects coming up this year. There won't be no more huge projects for the rest of this year. Gonna have a big New Year's party. We're gonna burn that big old pile of stuff out there and eat some good food and hang out. So looking forward to that. But this coming up year, one of the big ones for me is fencing, and getting the shed right out at the new property. That's the #1 concern for the new property, is to get that functioning, and electric and water and all that stuff out there. And then I would like to start on the cabin at some point this coming up year. There's going to be a lot of big changes to it, but that's going to be expensive. There's concrete and a bunch of building materials that's got to happen in order to pull that off. So we're going to kind of chip our way at it and get as much done as we can. But I guess this turned out to be a little bit of a what's coming next year on Come On Mountain and Come On HQ. So my brain's been processing, especially being sick. I haven't been able to do a lot of projects and work a whole lot. So I've had a lot of time to sit there and think, and start coming up with game plans for this coming up year, and goals and stuff like that, because it's a game plan, not a set plan. But there's a couple of things that I really want to accomplish. I really want to get the cabin started and get to a point where I can start bringing in the permanent solar, and I get completely off the generators and all that other stuff. But I can't do that until I get the cabin to a certain point, because of where the solar panels are going to go and where all of the solar stuff has to be housed and stuff. It's got a lot to do with the cabin. So we'll see how it all turns out. But hopefully by the end of next year, I will actually have, if not all, the majority of the solar kind of set up there on the mountain, because I've reduced the cost a lot with the backup batteries and stuff that y'all seen me do reviews on and stuff, and I'll be doing some more also, because I can never have enough of those backup batteries. Every time I do one, it cuts cost a lot for me, and I've got a pretty good little backup battery network going now, to where I don't have to run the generator but once a day for a couple of hours to kind of top off the charging of everything. And it has saved me a lot of money, which has allowed me to do other projects and also pull off things like get new property and stuff like that. Because one of my biggest expenses prior to that was fuel. I was spending like $800-900 a month just to run the mountain, and that is cut down in more than half. Now it's a fraction of what it used to be, which has opened up the budget a little bit to buy more materials and stuff and be able to keep things going. I also plan on selling some animals this year coming up. They've been there for a while, and I've been feeding them for a long time. And I did give the last two goats away, but I will be selling from here on out, and start trying to recoup some of the money that it cost for all these animals, because that's an expense as well too. Feed is not cheap. Just like I said earlier, everything's up like 26% or something like that. Well, that includes feed costs for animals. So it's time for them to start paying their way, if you know what I mean. Come on. So I'm gonna start working on that as well, and got a couple other things planned out for this coming up year that I can't talk about right now. It's there's a lot of negotiations and maneuvering and all that other stuff behind the scenes that I'm trying to pull off, and I don't want to announce anything or anything right now, because well, it's not a done deal. So we'll see how it all turns out. I'm cautiously optimistic. Look at this view, guys. It's a nice little chat this morning. We're going slow down the dirt roads. I didn't want to take Uber and the trailer down the highway this morning. I just kind of wanted to slow go it and talk to you guys a little bit. A lot of my videos on here have been kind of short here lately, because I haven't had a lot going on, being sick and stuff, so there wasn't really a lot to talk about. But we're coming up on the new year, and there's a whole lot of stuff coming up this coming up year, so plenty of stuff to talk about. And I'm excited to bring you guys along. There's going to be a lot of big changes this year coming up, as long as the finances allow it. I don't think I'm going to be traveling as much this year. I do have a couple of trips to Florida. It's kind of already in the books. I got to go in February, and then I plan on going to Florida in April when my grandson is born. But that's probably going to be my only 2 trips to Florida this year. Probably bring the kids up once up here, but not going down there as much this year. And then we got the fishing trip that's going to happen, and then got a couple of motorcycle trips, but that's more local type stuff. It won't be going out of town. Oh, it looks like they're grading the road after that big old rain. This road hasn't been too bad though. I sure would like to use one of those graders for a weekend. I could do a lot of work on Come On Mountains Road quickly. Look how smooth that joker runs it. Oh yeah. I could use a grader, there's no doubt. And of course, this coming up year, we'll also be doing some more land clearing. I was going to try to clear that downhill part towards Mount Magazine where I originally want the goats to end up. That's a lot of work though, and especially being on the hill and everything else. And the best time to clear it is right now while it's winter time, and I just don't see the schedule being able to allow me to clear that this winter. So that's why I'm pivoting a little bit, and I'm going to fence in the area that's already been cleared. It's nice and flat and still needs a little work before I fence it in. I need to run lift around there and level everything out, get all those cedar trees cut up and stuff, and get that big old pile burned. But that'll make a really nice pasture area right there for the goats. And I don't think it will be as hard to fence because it's flat land instead of trying to fence on the side of a mountain right now. So we're going to start with there because I'm nervous about doing the fencing just because of all the rock there. I have a funny feeling it's going to be a nightmare. So I would like to do the easiest part possible first, just to kind of get my feet wet to see what I'm kind of getting into with all the rock there, and be able to come up with a good game plan to be able to address that kind of stuff, because I've never done fencing with land that's so rocky and hard. I mean, you can't even put a stake in the ground for like the canopies and stuff without hitting rock everywhere you go. So I just have a feeling it's going to be a nightmare. But we're almost to the main road, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope y'all are having a good week. Hopefully y'all are taking a step closer to your goals. Hopefully you've been nice to some people this week. And hopefully you've reached out to somebody you ain't talked to in a while. It is the holidays, guys. A lot of people are in their mentals this time of year. And I could really use somebody reaching out and letting them know that you're thinking about them. So I love every single one of you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all keep it real. Come on.